You're watching Football Daily, and here are this week's biggest transfer news and headlines. It's all popping off this week, so don't forget to tweet me at Mike McCubb or the Football Daily account if you hear anything yourself. Anyway, let's get started. We kick off at Stamford Bridge, where there has already been a ton of transfer activity this summer. Having secured the services of Hakim Ziyech and Timo Werner, Chelsea continue to be strongly linked with Bayer Leverkusen's Kai Havertz, and reports this week suggest they are also keen to strengthen in defence. According to The Times, the Blues are set to target West Ham youngster Declan Rice, who Frank Lampard apparently sees as the natural heir to former captain John Terry. This seems like a strange move, with Rice having made almost all his senior appearances for the Hammers in defensive midfield. But he did play predominantly at centre-back during 2017-18, a season in which he impressed. Growing up a Chelsea fan in southwest London, Rice spent 7 years in the Blues Academy before being released at 14, and fans will hope the England international's childhood allegiance could sway him into a move, even if it means sacrificing his development as a midfielder. But if West Ham stay up, Chelsea will need to stump up serious money. Rice's contract at the London Stadium expires in 2024, and he is currently valued at over £50 million. But looking at the business they have already completed, we wouldn't bet against Lampard landing his man. Another player who has continuously been linked with a return to Chelsea is Nathan Ake, but following the weekend's action, it appears Manchester United are strongly interested in the Dutch centre-back. After his side defeated Bournemouth 5-2 at Old Trafford on Saturday, United boss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was filmed having a cheeky word with Ake as he walked off the field. The post-match footage appeared to show Solskjaer telling the Cherries defender, "We need a left-footed centre-back, so keep going." The United boss has since played this down in the media, but it's true. Aside from Marcos Rocco, who is set to leave the club for good this summer, there are no left-footed centre-halves at Old Trafford. According to The Telegraph, Tottenham are also interested in the 25-year-old, but both clubs would be at a disadvantage should Chelsea reaffirm their interest, with the Blues possessing a £40 million buyback option on Ake. Bournemouth are understood to value him at around this price anyway, but this would surely come down if they are relegated. So don't be surprised to see a number of clubs vying for his signature come August. But where do you see Ake going? Will Solskjaer get his wish? Let us know down below.
Hello, it's Patrick Van Straten, just letting you know about our new podcast channel, Football Daily Podcasts. From now on, the Extra Time podcast will be going live over on that channel every week, and it will not be alone. We'll be premiering a European football podcast very soon, headed up by our very own Doogie Critchley. So head over to Football Daily Podcasts if you want to check out the podcast in video form. And of course, you can still get it as an audio download on your favourite podcast app. We hope to see you there. Bye.
Sticking with Man United for the moment, as the Jadon Sancho saga is continuing to gather pace. Last week, reports suggested that the English forward would likely be staying put in Dortmund, after United apparently claimed they wouldn't be offering more than £50 million for his services, and with BVB not budging on their £100 million plus valuation. However, this week it has been revealed that Dortmund have issued an ultimatum to the Red Devils, saying that if Sancho is to move to Old Trafford, a deal must be concluded by the 10th of August. Meanwhile, the Athletic's Sam Pilger has claimed that personal terms between Sancho and the club are a formality, and the deal really is solely reliant on the two parties agreeing a fee, reaffirming the viewpoints put out by Fabrizio Romano in recent months. So United may struggle to bargain with the German club, but at least this puts an end date on any potential deal being done, which is good news for anxious fans who may have been anticipating this saga dragging on until deadline day, which isn't until October this year. But how much would you be willing to pay for Sancho? Let us know down below. Another player who has been tipped to make the switch from Germany to England this summer is David Alaba, with Manchester City strongly linked with the Austrian defender, whose contract with Bayern Munich runs out next year. Alaba has been central to Bayern's success in 2019-20, and manager Hansi Flick remains hopeful that the 28-year-old will commit his long-term future to the club he has been with for the duration of his career. However, with the recent sounds coming out of the club suggesting they would rather sell players this summer than lose them for free in 2021, the ball is very much in Alaba's court. As well as City, whose manager Pep Guardiola worked with the defender at the Allianz Arena, Chelsea are also said to be interested in the 9-time Bundesliga champion, and he would no doubt provide an answer to the Blues' long-running left-back problem. With Thiago also rumoured to be leaving this summer, the Bavarians could have a couple of significant holes to fill before next season. Over to Madrid now, where there have been mixed messages coming out this week. According to some reports, Los Blancos are planning no major acquisitions this summer and will instead focus all their efforts on offloading stars like James Rodriguez and Gareth Bale to free up the wage bill. However, according to Italian outlet Gazzetta dello Sport, they are keen on signing Lazio's Sergej Milinković-Savić, joining Chelsea and PSG in the race for the dynamic midfielder. The Serbian international is contracted with the Bianco Celesti until 2024, and much like in summers past, the club are holding firm in their valuation of him, with his current price tag understood to be around the £80 million mark. But with Paul Pogba now almost certainly staying at Man United, Milinković-Savić may be an ideal candidate as Madrid look to find a long-term replacement for Luka Modric. Meanwhile, Achraf Hakimi's agent has shed some light on the circumstances surrounding his client's transfer to Inter Milan, claiming the responsibility lies with Real's manager. In his words, Zidane is the reason he signed for Inter, now he has to explain why Achraf left. And he also reserved praise for Inter coach Antonio Conte, who he says wants to make Hakimi a central figure in his project at the San Siro. In other words, it looks like Zidane didn't have the youngster in his plans, and he will no doubt thrive in Serie A. We finish off with one of the big managerial announcements of the year. Yesterday, it was confirmed that Ralf Rangnick will be joining AC Milan as manager for the start of the new season, after months of speculation linking the former Leipzig boss with the Rossoneri dugout. Rangnick, who amazingly has never managed outside of Germany in nearly 40 years of coaching, will take over from Stefano Pioli at the San Siro, and may even combine the managerial role with the position of sporting director, currently held by Milan legend Paolo Maldini. He is expected to sign a 3-year deal, tasked with transforming the club back into Champions League regulars. This is arguably the most radical move Milan have made since falling from grace in the early 2010s, but given no manager has lasted as long as 2 full seasons at the club since Allegri left in 2014, Rangnick may have less time than he is used to bring about results. Nevertheless, there could be exciting times ahead for fans of Milan. So that's all we have time for on this week's Transfer Talk. As we said earlier, why not go over to the brand new podcast channel right now and hit subscribe? And why not check out yesterday's episode too? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and we'll see you next time.